168 North San Fernando Boulevard, inside 379 RD 11.
Hi, welcome to Let's Cook. You know, the term on the lamb actually doesn't refer to lamb. It actually dates back to the turn of the century. It has a British origin. Lamb actually means to strike it or beat it or run away, almost like a Monty Python thing. Now, I have this beautiful rack of lamb right here, but let me show you where this rack comes from. This rack comes from a saddle. Look at the size of this saddle. You can actually see where this right here is cut away from the saddle here. Then you go further down and you have the loin end of the lamb. And I'm actually going to be doing something with the loin this week on Let's Cook as well. But this is where my rack comes in. This is what we call a full hotel rack. Look at the color of the meat here. You want a really bright red color like we have right there. You also need the flakiness of the fat. This is what we call the blade end, because it has a blade bone end here, and I'm going to show you exactly what the loin end looks like here. The loin end, this is my loin end right here, and this is the more pristine part. It's extremely tender. You can see the length of the ribs here, and so you can tell when you get lamb in the market that they cut these bones down. I'm going to fabricate this today, and I'm going to make some riblets out of this. Plus, I'm also going to take the loin off, and we're going to make a really nice pan-seared, and then we'll finish it in the oven, piece of loin. So let me just show you what we're going to be doing. I'm going to put this back over here. Kind of looks like a scary movie over there, doesn't it? Right over here, I have the ingredients that I'm going to be using, first of all, to make the riblets. This is a loin that's been split, and I have some star anise here. I have some lemon juice. I have some green tea. I'm using hoisin and a little bit of oregano, and we're going to actually braise the riblets. Let me show you what we have to do to fabricate this. And again, I'm going to bring this back over here so you can see where this comes from. This is half a rack right here. This is a blade end right here. You can see how they took and they removed the chine bone right here, and we have this. You can buy these like this in a supermarket, or you can have your butcher go ahead and fabricate it for you. Let's put this back over here now. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here, and I'm going to remove the eye of this meat here. But before I do that, I need to remove this blade bone right here. So we'll just come down right here and remove the blade bone along with a lot of this meat right here. Now, the meat that I'm taking off right here, you can use this to flavor your sauce or gravy, or you can grind it. It's really delicious, very tasty. Coming over here now, this is the eye of the meat. This is what I want off. So I'll make a cut here. I bring it down over here, and I end it right where the eye of the loin is right here. I'm going to come here. Whoops, a little bit more of the blade bone there. We'll get that out. Come right down here, make this cut. With my knife, I'm going to pull back on the meat now, and my knife is just scraping right along the bone there, because I don't want to cut into the eye of the meat right here. See that eye right there? We don't want to really cut into that. Beautiful. So here, now I have my loin off. Now with my loin, what I'm going to do to the loin here is I'm going to clean this up a little bit. There's a little bit of backbone left. It's usually left right here. We'll take our knife. We'll take this off here, cut that off. Right here, oh, let me show you this piece right here. See this piece right here? This is part of the back strap right here. We really need to make sure we get that out. This, we could chew this forever. It kind of reminds me of an overdone pot roast that you can just chew and chew and chew. Need to make sure you get rid of that. So we'll take this off here. Good. Put this on the side. Now, we need to remove some of this fat right here. Just come up underneath with our knife. We'll cut this way. Hold it back across your knife. That's the other thing you need to know. If you have silver skin here and you need to remove it, when you take your knife, turn your knife on about a 10-degree angle, bring it up this way. Then when you hold it back across the meat, hold it down and turn your knife the other way. That way you won't remove too much of the meat. If you were to hold the skin up, the silver skin up, you would end up removing too much meat. So see, we're just going to clean this up right here. Now, some of this silver skin that is on the loin right here, this will dissolve during the cooking process and some will not. But this is good right here, except I'm just going to clean this up right here. There we are. Good. Now, for my loin right here, let me just get rid of this here. For the loin here, what I'm going to do is I have right here, I have a little bit of oil. I have some parsley. I have a little bit of oregano there. I have lemon juice. And then we're going to put a little bit of salt and pepper in here. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Then we're going to take and stir this up right here, just mixing it together. We'll marinate our loin for a little while here. Put this on the plate right here. We take this, mix this all together like this, and we're going to sear this in a pan. Now when we go to sear this in a pan, I'll get my pan nice and hot here, and then I'm going to sear the lamb. Now, as I said, you can marinate the lamb, but you really don't have to. So you're going to get this pan nice and hot before we drop that in there. In the meantime, I'm going to take the other ingredients that I had for the riblets. So we have our green tea here, we have our star anise, and we have a little bit of hoisin sauce right here. We'll just take our hoisin, we can just do it right in the pan right here. A little bit of hoisin there, my star anise, my green tea. Okay, see, isn't this cute? My little tea bag right here. A little bit of green tea there. Lemon. Get our lemon juice in here as well. We'll mix this together now. And we're going to put our riblets in here so that we'll end up having our riblets separate. They'll have a separate and different, distinct flavor from our loin. Just take our riblets, we put it right in here, making sure it's basted. We cover this with aluminum foil. This goes in the oven. Now this will take about 45 minutes in the oven. It really won't take too long. Our loin is going to take less time than that, but I'm just going to take the loin and I'll show you how we sear it too, and I'll put them both in the oven. So I'm going to drop this in a pan here. We're going to let that sear. Need to make sure that we brown it evenly on all sides. If it doesn't come loose, it's not ready to come out of the pan. We need to make sure it comes out of the pan. See how it released itself from the pan? Now it's good to go. Now, I would sear this on all sides. I already have one that's seared right here, and I can show you exactly what it looks like. See how nice and brown this is? Nice and tight. I'm going to take this along with my riblets. I'm going to pop these in the oven now. I already have some done. We're going to take a little break. And then when we come back, I'll show you exactly what the rack looks like, as well as the glazed riblets. And we're going to serve those with a little bit of orzo. Has a nice little green content to it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where we are on the lamb. Now, I have the boneless loin or boneless rack in the oven here. I'm going to take this out. We'll put this down here. We're going to let this rest a little bit. Then I also have the riblets that we glazed with the hoisin and the star anise right here. They're done as well. Those don't have to rest, but they are great. It's a great way to use the riblets from the rack of lamb. Now, right over here, I have some boiling salted water. To this now, I'm going to put in a little bit of orzo, which is a form of pasta. We're going to bring this up to a boil. I only have enough water in here to cook the orzo. It takes about 8 minutes to cook the orzo. When it's done, this is what it looks like, where it just absorbs all of the water right here. To this now, I'm going to add some butter. A little bit of butter in there. Melt that butter. It's going to get really nice and creamy. Along with the butter here, we'll add some peas. Oh, beautiful. Looks great, doesn't it? Season this again with a little bit of salt and pepper. A little bit of salt and pepper, and just kind of let that sit there. But you notice how all the liquid is absorbed by the orzo. We don't have any excess water left in there. That's exactly what it should be like. Now, let's take a look at first our riblets right here. Don't these look great? We're just going to take our riblets now, and you can tell, see here how they shrunk off the bone here? That's a very good indication that they're going to be really nice and tender. I'll serve 2 of these to a person. Oh. So this is actually for 4 people. This will be enough for 4 people. Take my ribs. I'm going to stack them up right here, just on one side of the plate. That's good. Now we'll take our orzo out of here. And you'll notice I'm doing this way so that my rack itself can rest a little bit, or the boneless loin there can rest a little bit of orzo right there. Smells delicious. You get that butter aroma. Now the rack itself, the boneless rack right here. We need to make sure that this rests, and we want this to be nice and medium rare. So as it rests, the juices are going to redistribute. This one actually might even be a little bit more done than I like it. Normally I would cook lamb medium rare, but let's see here. Oh no, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Beautiful. And you'll notice by letting it rest, none of my juices are running out. They're kind of staying in the meat. That's exactly what should happen. Now remember, we put a little bit of lemon juice, olive oil, salt and pepper, some oregano, some parsley and herbs on this. And am I getting 8 cuts? 2, 4, 6. Okay, yeah, we're good. Cut this down. Now, the one thing about lamb, to really enjoy it, is you really need to finish it with just a little bit of lemon juice, and I also like to put a little bit of salt and pepper on it too, even after it comes out of the oven. So take this, I'll turn this around so you get a nice view on that. Take a little bit of pepper here, just on the loin itself, a little bit of salt. That's going to really bring the flavor out. And then last but not least here, clean off my knife here, we'll just take a little bit of lemon juice. And what the acid from the lemon juice does is it just really brings out the flavor of the lamb. So a little bit of lemon juice right here, right on top of the lamb. Oh, there we have a delicious hoisin glazed riblets with our seared rack and our orzo. We are definitely on the lamb today. But we're going to take a little short break, and then when we come back, I'm making a savory Genoise onion tart. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where we are talking about on the lamb. Not on the lamb as the English means to run away, Monty Python, run away or strike it or break away. Actually, we're preparing lamb today, and to go with the lamb that we've already prepared, I'm making a savory onion Genoise tart. What I have in the mixing bowl right here that I'm warming up till it's about 110 degrees is I have whole eggs and a little bit of sugar, about half the amount of sugar that would normally be in a Genoise. Now the Genoise it's a cake batter, and in making the Genoise, the cake batter, it's the same type batter that you would use if you were making a jelly roll, but we're making it savory. So all I'm doing is I'm warming up my eggs with a little bit of sugar here. This is warmed up enough now. I'm going to now take this, put this on my mixer here, and let this start to mix until it's forming soft peaks and doubles in volume. So we're going to let that mix up. Now, the next thing that I have to do is I have to saute the filling to go into that. So in my pan right here, I have just a little bit of butter that I've melted. To this butter now, I'm going to put in some leeks, some shallots, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and we're just going to saute this off until the leeks actually start to change color. So we can let this start to saute up here a little bit, and then we're going to finish this with chives. So let's let that just saute a little bit because we're going to have to let that cool. As a matter of fact, I already have some. I'll show you this. I'll show you what it looks like once it's cooled down, because you have to let it cool down before you can actually incorporate it into your Genoise. So that's good to go. Next, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to speed this up a little bit so it really whips up. Now I need to make the tart shell itself. Now to make the tart shell in the refrigerator here, I have my puff dough, and I've kept it cold on a cutting board because when you work with puff dough, you want to make sure that you keep it nice and cold. So let's get this off of here right now. Wrapped it really nice for me. Here's my puff dough right here. What I'm going to do is I'm not even going to roll this. This is, just the kind of puff dough that you would buy from the supermarket here, one piece. We'll take this pan, this right here, we'll put it right on the outside here. You see how nice that fits? With a knife, we're going to just simply make a cut right here, right along the edge of the bottom of my pan. Go right here, cut this away. Okay, next, I'm going to get this out of the way here, right here. I'm just going to make a cut so that I can make a border to go onto my tart itself. So I'll come this way, we'll come this way. And you can use, I like to use a puff dough here because it's going to, I just happen to love puff dough. Let's get this out of the way here. Beautiful. Now, here's my ring right here. What I need to do with this ring is I actually need to take this ring and I'm going to cut it right here. Then with a little bit of egg wash right here, I'm just going to come on the outside edge right here. Then where I've made the cut here, I'll pick this up and I place the border right here. Now I'm going to end up having a little bit extra, and that's okay, because once I get to this point right here where it ended right here, I just take my knife, I cut it here, get rid of that. Now this is good to go in a pan. Come right here. To get it in a pan, we'll just pick this up, slide this underneath, making sure it's nice and cold. You see how easy that went in? Pick this up now into the pan. We'll egg wash the entire bottom of this now. We've already done the sides. Then we have to dock this. Docking means we're going to take a fork right here and make holes in this. This way, when the puff dough rises, because they use this to make, fruit strips. It's like almost like a croissant dough. I just love puff dough. This way, when I bake it off in the oven, the air will escape and it'll stay nice and flat. Now, I already have two that I've done here, and I'll show you exactly what they look like because it will shrink up on you. So I took this and I baked this in the oven. Now, I have two that are already cooked here. This one shrunk a little bit more because it was the second time I used the dough, so I rolled it out a little bit more. You need to bake this in a 350-degree oven for about 25 minutes. Now, my batter is now ready for my genoise here. You see how nice that looks? Doesn't that look great? Beautiful. So we'll just take this now. To make our genoise, there's a little trick to this. I have my flour with a little bit of salt right in the bowl right here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, about half of this. And using the whip, right, that I whip the eggs with, I'm going to incorporate this flour and really get this incorporated now. I need a little bit more in here. This way, I won't deflate all of the batter. We'll mix this together like this. Good. Now we'll take the rest of our batter right here. We'll put this right into our mixture right here. And all we're going to do now is fold this together. As we fold this together now, I'm going to take some of my cooled onion or leek shallot mixture with chives. I'll put some in there, and also in the bottom of the tart shell, I'll put some right here. Good. I'm going to take this now and gently fold this. You see how I'm folding this so I don't break it? We use that nice folding action this way. Beautiful. Now, the only other thing is I have a little bit of blue cheese here. I'm now going to break this blue cheese into here as well. We fold that in right at the last minute. We really don't want to break this up at all, making sure everything gets well folded into this. Now we're just going to take this. This goes right into our tart shell that's already baked here. Just so it's there. It's going to jump up a little bit, but then it's going to flatten down. We're going to bake these in a 350-degree oven for about 12 minutes. Let me get these in the oven. We're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, we'll get to take a look at our wonderful savory genoise onion tarts. Plus, remember, we got to take a look at our lamb again as well, too. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Let's Cook. We are definitely on the lamb. That is cooking lamb today, but we have our genoise tart that we made in here. I'm just going to show you how to test the doneness of this. First of all, you can touch it here. It's nice and firm, but you can also, let me just get a skewer right here. You can also just take a skewer, insert it, and you'll see that it's going to come out nice and clean. That way we know it's done now. A lot of times if you make a genoise normally, it's going to come clean from the sides of the pan. We can't do that with this today because it's already in our tart shell. So that's good to go. So we have this right here. I'll just go ahead and I'm going to cut into this so you can see the inside of this, and you'll see how wonderful this looks. You can also take this, if you wanted, you can serve it at room temperature. You can make it ahead, and you could also slightly warm this. But look how good this looks. Look at the, oh, doesn't that look great? Absolutely beautiful. So, just going to take a little piece like this right here. Just give them a little half. I have a little bit of creme fraiche right here. And then I'd also like to finish this with just a few of these flowering chives right here to kind of indicate that it's a savory onion tart. Thank you so much for watching Let's Cook today, where we were definitely on the lamb, cooking that is. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.